You don't need that extra latte, that extra streaming subscription, going to that fancy dinner.
So here's the issue with that. If 60 to 70% of Americans, which is what the current rate is, live paycheck to paycheck, not debating how they got there, but that's just how it is for this country. If you're saying that the way to save money is to stop buying lattes, is to stop your Netflix subscription, is to stop going out to dinner, what happens when, let's say, 35% of the country follows your advice? What happens to Starbucks? Does their stock stay the same when they have a 35% drop in revenue? Same with Netflix, restaurants, the restaurant industry. Do they start laying people off? So we've just compounded a problem here. Maybe what we should be worrying about is making sure that wages keep up with inflation.
What you're about to witness isn't just statistics on a screen. It's the raw, unfiltered reality of millions of Americans struggling with an economic crisis that's hitting every corner of our daily lives. From a $33 watermelon in Hawaii to grocery bills that have tripled overnight, these aren't isolated incidents. They're symptoms of a system under pressure. You'll hear from real people sharing their shock at checkout counters, families making impossible choices between necessities, and even successful individuals who can no longer ignore what's happening to the cost of basic survival. Some voices will challenge you to examine your spending habits. Others will show you tent cities in Canada's wealthiest provinces, and truck drivers will explain why living alone has become a luxury most can't afford. These creators don't all agree on the solutions, but they're united in one thing: the old world of financial stability as we knew it is gone. This isn't about politics, it's about people. Real stories from real struggles that are reshaping how we think about money, housing, and what it truly means to make it in 2024.
Are you taking blame for inflation? No.
Why not?
Because it was already there when I got here, man. Jobs were hemorrhaging, inflation was rising, we weren't manufacturing a damn thing here. That's why I don't.
All right, Dad, tell the people what you just told me.
I just bought a 17-pound watermelon. It was $32.20. When I was a kid, they were 8 cents a pound. That would have been about $1.50.
So this is the price of a 17-pound watermelon in Hawaii. $33 for a watermelon! Are you for real? A watermelon? A watermelon, you guys! Look, this is not a lie. $33.
Well, 32.
I don't care. It should be like free. It's a freaking watermelon. Dad, I'm so sorry you have to live in this time, and I'm sorry for everybody else that has to live in this time. This is ridiculous.
That's it. I can no longer afford to live on this planet. I just went to Target and spent $20 on 4 items. What are those 4 items you say? Coffee creamer, wipes, clearance, napkins, and a washcloth. $20 for all that. $5 a piece it came out to. Anyways.
My Walmart curbside orders were all under $200 in 2021, so let's look at the items and see what they would cost today. Butter was $5.12, now it's $7.58. Fiesta blend cheese for 80 ounces was $5.34. The romaine, $2.44. That cheese is $17.68 today. At that price, you'll hardly notice the romaine 60% more. We used to really like these. So tasty. I won't pay this much. I just don't buy these anymore. Flour has gone up in price, but not as bad as some of the other items. You can buy your own seasonings to save some money at home, but when the price of thyme doubles, you consider putting it in the garden yourself now this summer. My husband loves Hidden Valley Ranch. It went from $3.48 to $5.28. Want to make some s'mores? Graham crackers were only 87 cents in 2021. $1.98. You used to be able to pop in a freezer pizza for $5. I guess those days are gone.
If you're homeless, just buy a house.
Here are 5 people who have no business complaining about inflation. While the cost of living is rising at rates that we haven't seen in decades, there are certain people who clearly have enough money based on their spending habits and have no business complaining about the cost of living. Number 1, we have people who eat out more than 3 times per week. This includes fast food. It is far cheaper to prepare food at home. Even with the rising cost of groceries, it's still cheaper. If you're going out to get food all the time, you're just lazy. Number 2 is people who smoke or vape. If you're spending money to inhale a gas that you don't need in order to live, you clearly have enough money to pay for the increasing cost of necessities. Don't give me this nonsense about how addictive it is. No one put a gun to your head and forced you to start. This outcome is a product of the decisions that you made. Accountability is everything. There are tons of quit programs offered by state governments. If you're unwilling to try this for the sake of saving money, then you choose to do it and you choose to waste money. Don't blame other people for this problem that you're creating yourself. Number 4, we have people who use credit cards to buy concert tickets, and they still haven't paid it off. Looking at you, Swifties. If you opened up a new credit card in order to buy those tickets, or you put them on your credit card and you still haven't paid them off, means that you're wasting money on things that you don't need. And more importantly, you're pissing away a bunch of money on credit card interest. If you can afford all of this credit card interest, it means that you definitely have money in order to pay for the increased cost of living. You just choose to allocate it other places. Making this a choice. Make better choices before you blame other people. And last but not least, people who bought fireworks for New Year's Eve. You literally lit your money on fire. You clearly have enough money in order to pay for necessities. People who are truly broke can't light their money on fire. Accountability is everything when it comes to your finances. Taking ownership of the results that you're getting in life is something that we learn in elementary school. Don't ever forget that. The choice is yours. Choose wisely.
Let me tell you something. When I be complaining about food prices and y'all motherfuckers be like, ain't you rich? Why you complaining about lettuce? Why you complaining about this? That just goes to show me when you become successful, when you have money, you're gonna go broke soon because y'all not budgeting. I get a summary of the money that's being spent in my home every week. So when I'm starting to see that like groceries is like tripling up, it's like, hey, yo, what the fuck is going on? I want to see for myself what the fuck shit is being spent on. And like when I go to the fucking supermarket, like I went to the supermarket, I'm seeing that everything tripled up. That like lettuce was like $2 a couple of months ago and now it's like fucking $7. Of course I'm gonna say something.
Breaking news. The inflation report just came in, and you're going to want to listen to this. The market was expecting 3.6% for the CPI, and it came in at 3.7%, coming in higher than expected. This is the second month in a row that inflation has been ticking back up. This is already increasing the odds of an interest rate hike in November, with investors now expecting a 55% chance of another 25 basis point rate hike.
So I live in Edmonton, Alberta, and I've lived here my entire life, okay? So that's almost 40 years. And in 40 years, I have never seen this before. It is so bad in our city that this is how fucking people are living. Like, it is so disgusting. It's so sad. Like, aren't we supposed to be the richest province in Canada? I don't understand how the fuck this looks like this. Like, I'm sorry, but this is fucking heart-wrenching. And I have never seen this in the history. Like, I've seen a couple of these, 1 or 2, but not to this degree. And these, you know, they're popping up everywhere. And this is just, yeah, look for yourself. There is a tent city that is downtown. And this is a part of a parking lot. And I'm telling you, I've just never seen it this bad before. And these aren't, you know, junkies and people that are sitting there trying to, you know, do stupid shit. Like, these are, I've talked to a couple of the people that were there because I didn't want them to get mad at me filming. And these are not people that belong in there. They really don't. I just don't understand how the fuck it's gotten this bad. How are we allowing this? Like, good job, sheeps. I'm happy that Trudeau is what you love so much. You guys must be so proud. Maybe your vaccines can give them a new house. Just saying.
anybody else think it's like fucking asinine to see all these buildings and all these apartment complexes being built? It's like, okay, first of all, nobody can afford to move into those places, and there's a lot of apartment buildings that are vacant, that are brand new, that are vacant. And this one is like, I see them all over the city I live in, and it's just like, that's just going to be another one that's vacant. And then at the bottom of them, they have commercial spots where you can rent and open up your business, but people can't afford that rent to run a business. So it's like, it's just a giant fucking building taking up space that priced people out of the homes that were there before, just to erect a giant building that's completely vacant just to take up space. It's like, you guys are just building shit for no reason. And it's fucking up the traffic in the city. And when I drive by and I see that it's just another commercial building, it's just another building that has a bunch of vacant homes in it, like, it's pointless.
Okay, it happened. I had to come to the grocery store. I was actually coming for bread because my kids were not interested in eating the giant, thick, heavy loaf of bread I tried to make, which I do not blame them. But then Jessica brought me bread, like in part of those bags that I posted earlier. So I don't have to get bread, which is amazing, but I do have to get a couple other things. So I have like 2 really good coupons expiring. I have to use. Don't worry, I'm still gonna make all videos cooking out this fridge and pantry. We're gonna have to modify a little bit. It's still gonna be using what we have and doing it the lowest possible. Okay, remember how the rice mix is that any in the house be free. Can't pass. All of
Like, do I have to get a fucking roommate and rent out my son's room and move him in my...
I don't think too many people understand how serious this living situation shit is. I mean, people make jokes talking about eggs cost $12 a pop, but it's damn near no exaggeration. You used to be able to save money by buying groceries. That shit is not the case no more. Inflation is through the roof, man. Rent is $1,000 at least, but typically everybody rent is $1,100, $1,200, at least where I'm from and where I'm at. And people think because they make enough money to actually pay their rent that they can afford to live alone. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Like, if you can pay everything, but you literally got $50, $100 left for the next week or 2 weeks, you're not making it. Like, you're not surviving. You're literally nostril level above water, like barely above float. And that means if anything goes wrong, a car go down, your kid gets sick, you get sick, anything happens, you're done for. Your life goes upside down. Like, it's tough. We can get into the politics of what happened and when and all that, but simply put, that old world is gone. Like, ever since 2019 when COVID hit, that old world is gone. So all that, like, it used to be a flex when you could afford your own rent and live by yourself and hold your own shit down. But like I said, 2019, that shit ended. I am 33 years old and I've been living by myself for ever since I was 23. I mean, I always had my own house. I always had my own car. You know, I look down on people, and all honesty, if I'm being real, I look down on people who had roommates and, you know, grown men sleeping on somebody's couch. You know what I'm saying? I look down on them people because I felt like you was putting, you know what I'm saying, clothes and chains and real nice cars over the stuff that made you a stable human being, like a grown man. I really look down on people like that. But now it just seems like it's the only way to make it and not be a slave to your job or a slave to your house or your car. I don't know about y'all, but I literally hate if I have to clock 55 hours. If I absolutely have to work all 5 or 6 days. I don't like that, man. I mean, I don't mind. You feel me? As a grown man, I don't mind working them hours, but people need mental health days. You might have something you want to do. Your kid might have a last-minute recital or a basketball game. I don't want to be in a position where I literally have to work and get a certain amount of hours just to survive. Like, that's being a slave to whatever it is that you have to do. Back to my point of the world, that old world ending, like, I refuse now at 33 to get my own spot. Some people might look down on that. Some people might say, oh, you a bum. But look at me. I'm in a truck. I'm a truck driver. I don't make, you know, 30, 40, 50,000. I make I make more than that. And yet me still, I don't want to be a slave. I think it's way smarter to live with, you know, a roommate or two. Ain't that how the other cultures get through on life? Ain't that how the Latinos and all that get through on life? The Africans, it be 10 of them to a 1-bedroom apartment type shit. And here we are, we so hell-bent on flexing, on showing who got motion. You know what I'm saying? I got my own this, I got my own that. And for what? You really capping for the net, like you stunning. You acting like your life is all together. And the whole time, like I said, you one incident, one child sneeze, one pink eye from your shorty, and you are done. Like, now you taking out loans. Now you using up all your credit cards. Now you feel me? Like you borrowing from this person to pay that person. Like, you really doing the most just to show that you're supposedly stable. It's not worth it, man. For the entrepreneurs, just think of it like this. Get in a spot with maybe your brother. You know, the perfect situation would probably be your girl, I guess. But if you don't have a girl and you single, your brother, a cousin, maybe a best friend or two. Get in a crib that's affordable, comfortable, where you got your own space, and work at a decent job. I ain't saying be no bum. I'm never gonna advocate for being a bum. Get you a nice little gig or whatever, and stack your bread, stack your bread, stack your bread. because you don't know what this world is bringing. Like, every day is something new. You don't know what's gonna happen in the world. So get your bread, still do your side business, your side hustle, whatever, and stack your bread, and then try to go and make a big move in the next year or two, versus trying to stay with that old method of doing shit, like getting your own crib and being able to flex and say, I got my own. Like, that's just my mindset. My mindset is like, I don't necessarily know what I'm gonna do, but I know for a fact that I don't want to be that dude that's struggling every week, that paycheck to paycheck shit. And then, not even to mention that the value of a dollar is damn near gone. Like, who knows what day when they'll say the dollar is no longer valid to the American people. Like, who knows? I don't mean to vent, I ain't gonna lie, but like, it's 1,000 thoughts running through my mind. I can go all day about shit like this. I can go deeper for the people that know. I can go deeper. Like, this world is evil. Let's just leave it at that. It's a sick world, and nobody gonna give you a warning when shit just up and change. Your job don't give you a 2 weeks notice when they about to fire you. Your car don't let you know 2 weeks in advance, yo, I'm about to shut down. You feel me? Nobody gives you a warning, so you got to prepare. As a grown adult, I feel like it's just in our best interest to prepare for tomorrow. And that's just kind of, I guess that's me venting in response to her venting. So, yeah.
The voices you just heard represent millions more facing the same reality. Whether you're nodding in agreement or questioning their perspectives, one thing is clear. We're all navigating uncharted economic waters together. What strikes me most is how this crisis is forcing us to redefine success and stability. Maybe the truck driver is right. Perhaps it's time to abandon the I got my own place mentality and embrace more collaborative living. Or maybe the solution lies in the wage discussions we heard earlier. Now, it's your turn to weigh in. Are we witnessing a temporary economic adjustment or a permanent shift? Is cutting lattes really the answer, or do we need systemic change? Have you had to change your definition of financial independence? What creative solutions are you seeing in your community? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, whether you're sharing your own grocery store shock stories, debating the roommate strategy, or offering solutions you think could work. This conversation is bigger than any one video, and your perspective matters. Don't forget to like if this opened your eyes to something new, subscribe for more real talk content, and share this with someone who needs to see they're not alone in this struggle. The conversation continues in the comments. Let's figure this out together.